A lot of fun things happening today. And like most days, we start things off at the park with the pugs before sunrise. They insist that we do it this way. I'm going to be heading back to Huntington Gardens today, this time to meet up with a friend, Michael Nordstrand. He's in town because he's been working on a project with the Getty, recreating an ancient perfume. So I can't wait to hear about that. And I thought it might be nice to go to the Huntington, because he's never been there before, and smell around. In addition to being a very talented perfumer, Michael is also an artist and has a deep fascination with history. And I love how these different things seep into his perfume making. It's so interesting, so I can't wait to talk to him for a little bit and find out more about the project that he's been working on. So let's go to the Huntington. First, we sat under some ginkgo trees, which had a not pleasant smell, but it's fine. And then checked out the bonsai court. The Huntington has the most impressive collection of bonsai trees. I just can't get over the level of care that's given to these trees. It's really incredible. Oh my God, it is so fragrant.
So unreal.
So Michael and I kept smelling this fruit. He was saying papaya. It reminded me of this apple room spray that my freshman roommate in college used to spray in our dorm room. And guess what? This is it. It's Osmanthus. I had no idea that Osmanthus would be in bloom this time of year, but
That's what's so funny. I guess everything is just a bit.
well, the Huntington is capable of very otherworldly things. Okay, it turns out that there's so much Osmanthus here. This is maybe Osmanthus season, and I didn't know.
Well, is it usually an autumn thing? I just don't think of it
See,
as
I
that at all.
thought Osmanthus bloomed in spring, but what do I know?
I guess you get 2 rounds of
Maybe.
it in LA.
Michael, I'm so glad that you came out to LA now, because this is unusual. It rained yesterday, so we're at the Huntington, and everything just had a nice little rinse. So everything is so vibrant, both in the way things look, but also the way they smell. So we were geeking out over that Osmanthus because it's so heady. Just wherever you go, you smell this gorgeous, fruity guava, apple, apricot Osmanthus.
I know it's there's a beautiful golden one here, but we got to see a white one, which is actually kind of rare to be able to experience in the United States. So getting to smell that one, it was super green apple, really beautiful, amazing.
Now, I know that the reason why you're out in California is because you did a project with the Getty, and you recreated an ancient scent.
Yeah, to the best of our abilities and our knowledge. Yeah, but this was really interesting because what we know and what we don't know, finding the right balance and still being able to create something was a really interesting exercise, and then got to make a modern one too.
So what was it that you were recreating?
So in ancient Bronze Age Greece, Mycenaean Greece, there were a lot of industries that were booming, but one trade that was really, really influential and brought in a lot of money was perfume. So there's a city called Pylos, and Getty's put on this exhibition, and just the things that were recorded and paid attention to in that ancient city related back to perfume. And so we've learned a lot about ancient perfumery from that time period just by looking through evidence from linear B tablets and residue analysis, archaeobotany, like a lot of really interesting worlds that I've been able to kind of move through. So it's been working on it since February of this year, and some of the processes I did them the way that they would have been done historically. So like digging a hole in the yard and hand firing M4I, just really. I'm a method perfumer, and I did the full method.
So did you actually do this in New Jersey?
Yes. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So like in my backyard occasionally, working around trying to simulate to the degree it was possible what they might have actually been doing.
Your neighbors are like, our neighbor is so weird.
Yes, exactly. Just add it to the list because honestly, like this is not any weirder than anything else.
What's next?
Yeah.
So this vial I'm holding, what is this?
So this is the ancient perfume. So ancient perfumery was a little bit different because we don't actually know if they would have combined raw materials, notes, things that we would think of as a modern idea. The evidence kind of suggests that they would have used different oils for different things, different times.
Yeah.
So maybe even throughout the day, different things being applied to different parts of the body. Ritual use, not just hygiene and smelling good, but also like trying to kind of get to the root cause of like, why were they making perfume? Why was it actually important in the modern world that they were living in? Like, because now we don't know exactly all of the uses of what was happening. We don't know why they needed to do things a certain way, but they would treat the oil, because everything was oil-based then. You're talking about oil-based perfumes. All of them were oil-based, and they thought about it in a very different way, I think. So they would treat the oil with certain botanicals to preserve it better, but sometimes that also imparted an odor, like coriander seeds, cyperus, which is related to papyrus, that we still use in perfumery today. So those things were meant to treat the oil to make it last, but they also gave it an odor profile.
Okay. Oh, this is lovely.
That's the interesting thing is that, you think of something that's 3,500 years old and you think, well, it's going to smell like it was created 3,500 years ago. And actually, it smells like something that Frama, Sweden, or Aesop could be doing today. It really smells quite modern, whatever that actually means. The spiciness and the woodiness of the coriander is really present.
Oh, it's such a delicate coriander.
Yeah, it's really nice. And then the roses, I actually picked some roses from the property where my studio is. For about a month and a half, I would just pick roses randomly and just keep infusing them into the oil. So everything is infused in oil. We did heated oil and we also did cold infusion. So I had 2 kinds for each ingredient. And we were very limited with the historical evidence of what could actually go in the perfume. So there's coriander, the nutsedge, the cyperus that I was talking about. There's a little bit of rose, and then there's some sage as well in the olive oil base. And it's interesting, the olive oil, I was really nervous that it was going to be really green and grassy and really distracting. And actually it works, quite well. I was surprised.
This is beautiful. I'm glad that there was so much oil on this strip because it's on my skin now.
I know. It's also interesting, we were trying to figure out were there other carriers, because originally perfume was about unguents. It was animal fats and things like that, more of a paste that you would apply, a salve almost. And then as you move, from antiquity towards today, you started getting more things based in olive oil. But in Egypt, they used balanos oil, which is a date palm oil. It's the kernel of the date palm. And it has the inverse lipid profile to olive oil, so it goes rancid a lot less quickly. So olive oil goes rancid much faster. So balanos preserves better. And it's also what we would call a dry oil. So like olive oil will sit on your skin for a long time, but balanos will absorb very fast. So I ended up making, just to have it, a balanos version, even though we couldn't place balanos oil in pylos particularly. I decided to just do it anyway. So we've got that one somewhere too. But it was interesting to be able to just see for myself, smell for myself, that the olive oil is not as distracting as I was worried it would be.
No, it smells incredible.
And it's interesting, Getty posted about this the other day, and you get a lot of different feedback from a lot of different people because Getty has such a huge following. It was kind of like a little market research for me to see like what people were responding to. A lot of people are interested, of course, to smell it, but then people are thinking, well, what does coriander seed have to do with grease? And it's interesting because like in cooking, which is I think where most of us encounter coriander, we encounter the leaves maybe more often than the seeds even. A lot of people tend to associate that with other cultures, like cilantro being something that's like in Mexican food, or something that might be more prevalent in Indian food, coriander. But it's actually native to the Mediterranean. So
I just get
couldn't be more Greek. You know,
I just have the feeling everything was native to Greece.
I know, yeah. So like, and if it wasn't, then they imported it. That's really the reality. We've got evidence of all kinds of different things that were trading hands in Pylos, not just perfume materials, but other things. And so one of the other aspects of this ancient perfume is the filtration. So if you put all of these things in oil, seeds, leaves, petals of roses, you have to get the oil out somehow. I sourced from a little island called Skiathos in Greece this wool of the sheep that would have been native to the region, and we filtered everything through the sheep's wool. Cool. So there's actually this little trace at the very end of this like warm animal lanolin. Exactly.
That's so cool.
Which is really, I didn't say much about that when I sent it to Getty, the first sample, and they were all smelling it and saying when it dries down, it has this like fuzzy, warm sort of vibe to it. And I think that's just a little bit of lanolin coming through the warm oil. So cool.
I know.
And nature's like, just kidding, I'm going to give you this gift today.
I know. I mean, literally everywhere you turn, there's Osmanthus, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and smellier.
I know, this is the biggest one yet. No?
Yeah.
Do you think that people just sort of walk by it without realizing that that's in the air?
Yeah.
Because it's, like I said, you could kind of walk by Osmanthus and just think, oh, that's a nice ornamental flowering plant. But like,
I mean, it looks beautiful, but it's not like a showstopper flower like a rose or something.
Like to somebody like me, it is a showstopper. We were smelling it even before we saw it, before we knew what it was. Just kind of amazing. This looks like a Cade bush to me. So Cade, like birch tar.
Yeah, some smoky qualities. Yeah.
So it's made of destructive distillation, like no water added, just whatever water's in the plant already, make an extract. But this is another thing you could just pass by and not really notice what it is.
Look at that incredible tree in back of it with those berries.
Oh yeah. I don't know what that is.
No. They look like cherries.
The birds are really interesting.
Yes. Now, did you bring another vial?
I did. I brought the modern one.
Okay.
So the other interesting thing is that the ancient perfume, they dyed it with alkanet root to make it red. So we did a modern version, and I also dyed it red, not with alkanet root, but with modern dye.
So when you say it's modern, is it based on this formula, but you're using different materials?
So I used some different modern sort of innovative extracts. So like instead of coriander, I used the main molecule from coriander that we can now extract pure, linalool. So I used that, and I used some different modern extracts from Mon, the fragrance house, to basically recreate a fig sort of headspace. I used labdanum from Crete, so I could use things today that they never would have had back then.
Sure.
But I tried to think of it still in terms of what would a person encounter or deal with on a daily basis in this period.
Yeah.
And to me, fig just seemed like a natural thing that kept coming back. And in the research, I actually found that fig is one of the oldest cultivated plants. Forget wheat and cereal grain. Fig predates that by millennia.
Yeah.
And that was really cool to actually find that.
Well, I was just talking to someone, actually an incredible perfumer, and she was saying how it's her belief that the tree of knowledge in the Garden of Eden was a fig.
Could be so. Yeah. I mean, and then they went forth with them covering everything, right? Like, I mean, you cover your shame with that, I suppose. It's kind of cool.
Let's smell this.
Yeah, I think this one, it's interesting because I mean, what does modern mean? Actually, we kind of come up with these ideas of what we think modern means. But what was modern about this one was just the innovative extracts and things that we can actually use today, and that we can use alcohol, which is a perfumer's best friend. It diffuses the smell much better.
Oh, that's so lovely.
So the extracts that we use to make fig are not of fig. Fig has got allergens and things like that, so we don't really use it in perfume. But Mon have a prune jungle essence that we use to give the fruity note. Green bell pepper, coconut, all of these things that are actually facets of the fig itself. And then there's this one really beautiful one. They've been upcycling gingerbread from south of France, because I don't think many people like to actually eat gingerbread. It's more like
I do.
Oh, you do? Okay. So many times it's like more architectural, it's for building a house, but it's not for eating. They've been definitely doing the most with upcycling. So collecting the spice bread and extracting it too. So there's a spiciness to the fig in this that's really interesting.
I keep getting something that makes me think about whiskey as well. Maybe a little bit of oak barrel as well.
Yeah, the prune is really that. It's really, really chemically related to oak wood, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, their prune extract is very much that.
That's so interesting.
It kind of goes with the osmanthus.
Yeah, actually.
There's a little bit of an echo of that.
God, I wish everyone could smell this right next to an osmanthus bush.
Yeah, it's perfect.
I think I want to smell everything next to an osmanthus bush.
Yeah, I know. I don't think there's anything that doesn't go.
Right. Really cool. Is this something that people can buy?
It's interesting. There's always this conversation when you work with a museum or an institution around, like, should you commodify this? Should you make it available to buy? And I'm of the opinion that it would be great, because people can then have access to it, where this is a very limited experience if you're not here.
Totally.
But Getty were, on the fence about it, but they've gotten quite a bit of feedback since they posted about it that they maybe should consider.
I mean, I'm all about the gift shop.
I know. Exit through the gift shop every time. I have to be kept from there usually.
No. That's really... no, you wait until you see the Huntington gift shop.
Oh, no.
It's good. It's good.
Well, if it's anything like the gardens, which are extensive and unreal, honestly, then it'll be great.
These are both so special. So special. Something about the ancient one, maybe because it's based on such an ancient method, is very magical to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's something really pure about it. And the fact that it's a slow process, like everything takes a lot of time. There's something meditative about that I think I don't know, at the pace that we operate at today.
Yeah.
It's tougher, like you and I were talking about, like continental Europe's pace versus US pace.
Yes.
There's something that makes you actually slow down when you're developing something with only ancient methodology to the extent possible.
I think I crave that because I don't get enough slowness in my life.
Yeah, this one just sort of invites you to come a little closer, which can be nice too. I think the intimacy of it is really great.
Thank you so much for showing these to me.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, here's some heliotrope. Just a beautiful smell. I tried planting this in my garden, but it quickly just turned brown and didn't look so good. I wish you could smell this.
This one right here actually smells more like marzipan, not just heliotrope, but has this sort of princess tarta.
Oh, you're speaking my language.
Little Swedish cakes.
I kind of want to have a little coffee and princess cake right now.
Oh my God, that sounds amazing.
Just about to leave, but got tempted by this Datura.
Come back at night with the Disney gardeners.
So that was really fun, spending the early part of the day with Michael Nordstrand at the Huntington Gardens. We were so impressed by those osmanthus blooms. What an amazing surprise. So now Brendan and I are getting ready to go out. We're gonna see one of my favorite bands right now, live, Nation of Language. They're performing in Hollywood. So because I'm in that osmanthus state of mind, I'm gonna put on Fleur du Mal from Dries Van Noten, the Perfumer's Content Biche. This is maybe my favorite use of osmanthus in a fragrance. This and Hermès Osmanthus Yunnan, but I don't have that. But when I was in a band and we'd play shows, this was my performing sense. So I'm glad we're going to a show. It just feels right. I'm wearing some sparkly shorts, which I'm very excited to finally be wearing out. It's been a little while. And my hair is looking a little Gavin Newsom, and I'm not sure how I feel about it, but let me get my keys and let's go to Hollywood. And I'm telling you, this concert was absolutely incredible. I've been listening to Nation of Language records nonstop for the past few months, to be honest. And I love their music, but you never know how it's going to translate live. But the frontman is so good. His singing was incredible and has this way of singing in a very open, pure way, almost like he's in a choir. In fact, I wonder if that's his background. I have no idea. And he had good moves, kind of like Ian Curtis style moves. I was impressed by their Moog synthesizer. There were certain moments that were just given pure New Order. So I'm definitely a fan. Honestly, I haven't had that much fun at a pop concert in God knows how long. In fact, one of the last concerts I went to had such low energy that they didn't even do an encore because the audience just kind of gave up. I won't tell you who that was. It's not really their fault. But yeah, Nation of Language. How cool would it have been to actually play their music while showing you footage of the concert? But I don't go there, as you know, because I'm scared of using anyone's copyrighted music without permission. I'm scared that they'll take my video down, so I only use music that I make. But I highly encourage you to go and get some Nation of Language music on vinyl, check it out on streaming. It's so good. As ever, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate it so much. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And tell me what kind of smells are exciting you right now. What's in the air? What have you been putting on? Because, you know, I love this kind of stuff. I want to know. I'll see you next time.